This is Channel 9 Eyewitness News Daybreak. Coverage you can count on.
And breaking right now in Volusia County, a live look from Sky Witness 9 HD at the former Florida hospital building in Ormond Beach that will be imploded in mere seconds. Let's get right now to Channel 9's Steve Barrett, who is the only reporter inside the perimeter with an exclusive angle on this historic demolition.
Yeah, we're going to give you the best shots here, Mark. Multiple camera angles, starting with the inside, show you the blast inside, then come outside for the building falling down. I want to show you something neat before they get started here real quick, though. The president and CEO of the company has his granddaughter out here, and he built her a plunger. We're not going to tell her it's not real, but take a look at this little girl right over here, Skylar Ray Steffen. She is actually going to hit the plunger. We're going to listen in as Grandpa's really going to be doing the deal. His name is Rich Lorenz from Central Environmental Services, and they're the folks that are doing it. There's little Skylar right there. She's got her plunger all ready to go, and we're going to listen in just a moment as they come on and get ready to do their thing. We've got a little two-way radio. Go ahead and pull out, and we'll get this shot. Here it comes. Listen in right here for the countdown. Here it comes.
2, 1.
And there you go. There you hear the cheers from the crowd. That huge plume of smoke that they expected. Like to keep it under control. In fact, we're going to be able to go to Rich Lorenz right now, who just blasted this. Hey, Rich Lorenz, Steve Barrett here. Rich, are you there? Can you hear me?
Everything's good. We're down on the ground. The dust should dissipate within about 10 minutes.
Rich, is this how you expected it to go? I see you're over there slapping hands. Did this go just the way you planned it?
It went exactly the way we planned it. As you can see, once it does, you will not see anything but a 20-foot pile of rubble. It turned out perfect. Everything went just as planned.
Rich, you got a lot of cheers over here from the crowd. Is it always just an amazing thing? Can you see this happen enough?
It was great.
Rich, we're losing you just a little bit on the two-way microphone here, but I can tell you we have a number of angles on this thing. If you can pull out here, Mike, a number of angles on this thing from inside. We actually have cameras that got basically smashed in there. It came down right on top of our cameras. So we actually have some guys going in. They're going to explore and find camera angles that you haven't even seen live yet. And over the next couple of hours. In fact, we've got a live camera, I'm being told right now that we can still see. What are we looking at it from the air here, Kim? Underneath the building, Kim's telling me this is one of our cameras that's right underneath the building there. We have some that we actually have to go in and recover and try and turn those visions of all this around for you. But just an amazing sight out here. And I've seen a couple of these things, and like Rich was saying earlier, it's always just amazing to watch how all of this happens. I want to get to some of that video and go check it out. We're going to bring it to you over the next couple of hours here on Daybreak and have even more views of what happened here. Like I said, some of these cameras are lost in there. Some of those cameras, we lost our live feed because we expected that because the blast was so great. You heard all that dynamite going off in the beginning, and it took just a little while for the building to actually come down, and that was what they expected to happen. So that wasn't really a delayed reaction. All the dynamite was to hit below on 3 separate floors, bring that building down, and that is exactly exactly what happened. And of course, for a lot of the folks here in Ormond Beach, it's a very emotional thing. Even our photographer, Mike, who's standing here with me, his girlfriend, her mother actually died in that hospital. So there are lots of people born in the hospital, died in that hospital, lots of lives saved. So for Ormond Beach, it's a very big deal, and it's really kind of an emotional thing for them to see this 45-year-old 8-story structure just crumbling to the ground in seconds. But what an amazing sight to see. You can see behind me, it's just a little bit of a cloud of smoke, and they tried their best to make sure all of that smoke didn't waft into the neighborhoods around. We're told the winds were just perfect to keep that from happening. So I think all the folks from Central Environmental Services that did this demolition are very happy right now. I'm going to send it back to the studio now while I go and look at some of these other camera angles and try and bring you some of the best visuals of this morning and just let you see it from every angle that we've captured it from. So Mark, let's go back to you in the studio.
Great job, Steve, and great job to the demolition crew. And you watched it here live on Channel 9. Hundreds of spectators were, of course, there to watch the implosion in person from a safe distance. We continue our breaking team coverage with Channel 9's Melanie Holt. And Mel, tell us how it looked from where you are.
Great vantage point here off of Nova Road. You can see some of the folks still with their cameras up, just taking some shots of what's left there, that debris pile, because that's all that's left here across the street. Now, hundreds of us were out here standing shoulder to shoulder for today's implosion, because after 45 years, there are just so many memories tied to this hospital. Now, in the next few minutes, I'm going to work through this crowd because we want to talk to some of the folks who actually worked at the hospital, some who were treated at this hospital, just to get their reaction to today's implosion. But obviously everything looks like it went off without a hitch here, and a lot of folks out here in Ormond Beach pretty impressed today. We're live here in Volusia County. Mel Holt, Channel 9 Eyewitness News.
New this morning, just 30 minutes ago, a Volusia County hospital implosion went off without a hitch. Let's go outside now, take a live look at what's left. This is the rubble of that hospital. These are images from Sky Witness 9 HD, and you can see only Channel 9 is bringing you exclusive team coverage with angles you just won't see anywhere else. Melanie Holt has reaction from spectators right after the blast, but we begin with Steve Barrett, who saw the whole thing up close. And Steve, pretty clearly, some of those images from inside the hospital are amazing.
Yeah, if you see it before, you don't get used to it. It's very cool, Mark, especially to be here, feel the blast of that dynamite. 150 sticks of dynamite is what brought this thing down. I'll give you an angle from here. Take a look right there. That's really all that's left of it. But real quick, I want to show you, this is going to be an angle from inside to outside of the whole thing as it happened. Watch this. So there you have it, all the way through the clouding of the camera and all the debris hitting the camera. Take a live look back here. You can see the dust plume is gone. That's what they expected to happen. Right now, they just have that pile of rubble. And inside that pile of rubble right now, we actually have a couple of our guys, Dave Cyrak, our operations manager, and another guy are in there trying to retrieve some of the cameras that we have in there. But of course, we recorded it on a lot of cameras that we were showing you live. In fact, I want to just show you the Sky Witness view of all this from up in the helicopter. It was a great view again, and like I said, it went off without a hitch. The folks that did this, Central Environmental Services, say that this one went perfectly. It collapsed just as it was supposed to. 8 floors coming down. They actually dynamited 3 of those floors, and it fell right on what they call its footprint. They were careful to protect a lot of other buildings around the area. You know, there are even some residential areas that are near here, but it was all very well protected, and it went very well today. We're in fact going to interview the CEO of the company, the man who actually pushed the button to bring it down, in just a few minutes. We're going to bring you his reaction to how this went today in just about a half an hour, as well as any of those cameras that we can get out of that pile of rubble back there. Reporting live in Ormond Beach in Volusia County, Steve Barrett, Channel 9 Eyewitness News.
New this morning, we are now hearing reactions from some of the hundreds of people who came out in the early morning hours to watch an old Volusia County hospital be reduced to rubble. Channel 9's Melanie Holt begins our live exclusive team coverage. And Mel, I understand a lot of these people had some very emotional ties to this building.
They really did. There were hundreds of people out here to watch today's implosion of this old hospital building, and we were here with them as it came tumbling down. It's tied to so many cherished memories. There were cheers as the old Florida Hospital Ormond Memorial Building came down, but it was bittersweet. We talked to so many people who have memories of this hospital. We talked to a man who was here for its dedication 45 years ago. We spoke with a man who was here with heart ailments and another woman who visited ill relatives, even a man who told me his wife spent time at this hospital.
So I think for everybody that's here, I think it's very emotional for how it affected everybody's lives.
And we talked to so many of them today. We'll have more of their stories coming up very soon. We're live here in Ormond Beach, Volusia County. Mel Holt, Channel 9 Eyewitness News.
Channel 9's Steve Barrett had a front row seat to that implosion. We also had cameras set up inside the building when it came down. And coming up right after this short break, we will have those amazing and exclusive angles for you. Stay with us. Only Channel 9 is bringing you exclusive coverage this morning of a massive implosion in Volusia County. Florida Hospital Ormond Beach came crashing down just about an hour ago. And our Steve Barrett has been covering this for us all morning long. He is live inside the perimeter. And Steve, you had a direct line to the man in charge of the implosion as it happened.
Yeah, that's right. He was talking us through it the whole way. And guess what, Mark? We found all of our cameras within a half an hour of the building coming down. Our guys went inside in the rubble and we got our cameras. And now I want to show you images that have not been seen on television yet from cameras that we had right inside that building and just on the outside. Take a look at this. There you go, right there. A little bit of high definition implosion for you, and I just want to show you real quickly how all of this happened. Back here live, these are the cameras that we basically had our cameras inside these yellow devices right here. There you can see where the lens was. So these were buried in there bright yellow so that we could find them. And in fact, one of the cameras that was sitting right outside, you've been watching that shot a little bit. Take a look at this thing. This is what's left of a TV camera after you run it through a building implosion. It is covered with dust. We haven't really tried to turn it on yet, but I think the days of using this camera are over. It'll probably make a good little souvenir back at the station. Amazing stuff. We still have more video to go through, and also we've talked to the man who orchestrated all this. You're going to hear some of that throughout the morning and throughout the rest of the day here on Eyewitness News. Reporting live in Ormond Beach in Volusia County, Steve Barrett, Channel 9 Eyewitness News.
And we will leave you now with a replay of this morning's hospital implosion in Volusia County, where only Channel 9 had cameras inside the building. We will have much more on the blast and how people are relating to it, reacting to it on Eyewitness News at noon. New this morning, less than 2 hours ago, a Volusia County hospital implosion went off without a hitch. And only Eyewitness News is able to bring you exclusive team coverage with angles you just won't see anywhere else. Melanie Holt got reaction from spectators right after the blast, but we begin with Steve Barrett, who has the assignment of the day and saw this whole thing right up close. Steve?
And it was fun, Mark. It really was a great way to start a beautiful Sunday. Let me just show you real quick what's left of the building. That's it. It's a pile of rubble, and you can see workers out there already getting started cleaning it all up. But right now, I want to show you the exclusive inside look that we had as this dynamite went off. Here you go. And that camera that you just saw here, we actually recovered it. This is what it looks like now. So that's that last little camera shot you just saw. You can see it's just covered in dust. We don't know if this thing works yet, but I also want to show you, we also had it from the air. Let's take a look at the Sky Witness 9 HD shot of all of this. Just amazing video. And these guys tell us that it just fell right in what they call its footprint. It fell perfectly. The dust plume cleared out nicely and really had no effect on the neighborhood around here, so it was just an amazing sight. We had cameras, in fact, all over. If we can come back here live, just want to show you one more thing. We had other cameras inside these boxes right here, painted yellow, so that we could go in and quickly retrieve them from the rubble. Coming up in just a half an hour, we're going to show you the video that came right out of this box as that building came right on down on top of it. So stick around a half an hour. We'll have even more video coming for you. Reporting live in Ormond Beach in Volusia County, Steve Barrett, Eyewitness News This Morning.
As you might expect, certain roads were closed around the hospital this morning for the safety of drivers and spectators. Those roads have now reopened. Eyewitness News This Morning's Melanie Holt continues our live team coverage from a parking lot about half a mile away from the hospital. And Mel, there were some people out there for that implosion who had some very personal and emotional ties to that building.
One woman told me it was like, saying goodbye to an old friend. The old Florida Hospital Ormond Memorial Building was reduced to rubble in a matter of seconds. There were cheers from the crowd, but the implosion was bittersweet. The building held a lot of memories for Ormond Beach residents, from births to the passing of loved ones. After 45 years, it was difficult to find someone in the crowd who didn't have a connection to the hospital. And they were here today to be part of its historic end.
I thought that was amazing. I've never seen anything like it. You know, it's just beyond description.
I think for everybody that's here, I think it was very emotional for how it affected everybody's lives.
I also spoke to a couple of women who were nurses at the hospital, and they say the reason it's so difficult for many to say goodbye to this old hospital is that it was a small community hospital and there was a sense of family there. We're live here in Ormond Beach, Volusia County. Mel Holt, Eyewitness News This Morning.
New this morning, a Volusia County hospital came crashing down. It happened just about 2 hours ago, and it came off without a hitch. Only Eyewitness News able to bring you exclusive team coverage with angles you will not see anywhere else. Melanie Holt got reaction from spectators immediately after the blast, but we begin with Steve Barrett, who saw the whole thing right up close.
And what a show it was, Mark. It was really great. A lot of work went into this, not just from the company that did it, but also from our guys putting cameras in what now, if you look behind me, is just a pile of rubble. Used to be an 8-story building. In fact, we dug some of the cameras out of that rubble, and I want to show you quickly what they captured inside. Yeah, you can't really get a better view than that. We had cameras all over this place. In fact, our operations manager, Dave Cyrak, going to hand me one of these. This is the box that we used to put these actually inside. So this withstood the blast and that building coming down on top of it, painted yellow. We were able to go inside and retrieve it. There's the little lens right there. Everything worked out just fine. And now one of our interns, Dan, is going to show us one of the cameras. This is actually a real television camera, an old one, but a television camera that we had there, and it got buried in the rubble as well. You can see how dusty that thing is. Everything out here is covered in dust. We haven't tried to turn this camera on yet, but I'm not sure it's going to work. I think its best days are well behind it at this point. In any case, throughout the day, we're going to be showing you some of that great video, and of course, you can see it on WFTV.com as well. Reporting live in Ormond Beach in Volusia County, Steve Barrett, Eyewitness News This Morning.
Spectators, of course, got up extra early this Sunday morning to get their own front row seats to that show. Eyewitness News This Morning's Melanie Holt continues our live team coverage from a parking lot about half a mile away from the blast site. And Mel, what did the spectators by you have to say about the show they witnessed?
Well, one woman told me it was like saying goodbye to an old friend. The old Florida Hospital Ormond Memorial Building was reduced to rubble in a matter of seconds. There were cheers from the crowd, but the implosion was bittersweet. The building held a lot of memories for Ormond Beach residents, from births to the passing of loved ones. After 45 years, it was difficult to find anyone in the crowd who did not have a connection to the hospital, and they were here today to be part of its historic end.
I thought that was amazing. I've never seen anything like it. You know, it's just beyond description.
I think for everybody that's here, I think it's very emotional for how it affected everybody's lives.
I also had people tell me today they loved this hospital because it was just part of the community, and they felt a sense of community while they were there. We're live here in Ormond Beach in Volusia County. Mel Holt, Channel 9 Eyewitness News.